could you turn a passion into a career? My argument would be, would you want to do that?
What do I have a passion in? I don't think I have a passion in anything. So I guess for somebody that's like, I love to act or I love to sing, or there seems to be like an easier, not necessarily an easier avenue in, but an easier path.
I have a show recommendation.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I've been trying to get in for the past half hour. We've been trying to set up this podcast that was supposed to start at 4. It's now 4:31.
Can we be friends? Can we be friends? Can we be friends? Can we be friends? Can we be friends?
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Can We Be Frank, where the whiskey may be on ice, but the talk is always straight up. I'm Derek. I'm here with Ruby, Robert, and Mike. How's everybody doing?
Peachy.
Good, thanks.
Oh, that's good. What's everybody up to besides, well, living?
Yes. I have a show recommendation.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I've been trying to get in for the past half hour. We've been trying to set up this podcast that was supposed to start at 4. It's now 4:31. You can cut that out, Derek. Feel free. My show recommendation is The Madison. Have you heard of it?
Taylor Sheridan.
Yes.
Taylor Sheridan.
Taylor Sheridan, which who I respect, of course. He's done amazing things. I haven't necessarily become a fan of Yellowstone or those kind of spin-offs, like the 10 spin-offs of those. And I've heard Landman's great. I haven't watched that. But The Madison, because I very much like Kurt Russell. I like Michelle Pfeiffer. And I highly recommend. It's incredibly well done. Well written, well acted, well directed, produced. Very light, frothy series.
And I think he's actually heavily involved in that one. I think he stepped back from a lot of those other ones just because he's so busy as a showrunner. Yeah, he
wrote all 6. There's 6 episodes in the first season, of which he wrote all 6. And then another unusual thing about it is the DP, who's a female, and I'm blanking on her name, is also the director.
Oh, wow, nice.
Which is rare in and of itself. Why, I'm not sure. I've never understood, because it makes sense to me that a DP would direct. But doubly rare that it's a female.
I thought you were going to say about it being a female. Yeah, that is the rarity of it. That's cool though.
It's so good.
Add it to the watch list.
And it's not my show. It's not my type of show. Pam wanted to watch it. I'm like, I'll just sit there and watch it with you. And I'm like,
Robert, what is your type of show? If that's not, I want to are we back on like bailing out loud? Is that more your kind of jam?
I have become more reality based.
Oh, I love it.
Housewives. I know. I don't enjoy as much scripted content for consumption. Maybe because it's what I live in as a creator. I just want to consume kind of popcorn fun where I'm not trying to think ahead, like what's the writer going to do? Oh, I see this coming, or, oh, that was an interesting, like, I appreciate The Madison. It's so well crafted and well written that I'm just constantly thinking that, oh, that line, oh, that was great. Oh, I wouldn't have said it that way. That's amazing. Like you're so in your head, it's hard to enjoy. Whereas the Housewives of Beverly Hills, like whatever, they're pulling hair, they're throwing glasses, it's the best.
Yes.
I have no critique. I'm like, I just take it in.
I'll take the recommendation.
Isn't The Madison
The Madison.
Is it similar? Didn't you like another like Homesteading type show? I thought you told us about.
Oh, that was a reality show. I think it was called on HBO, like Homestead or something.
Okay,
Homestead.
Yeah. So
where they go and they help people who are trying.
Is that a theme? Do you like that idea of? Okay.
Oh, absolutely not. No, it terrifies me. I think that's why I'm attracted to it.
You like to live vicariously, but not do it yourself.
Yes, it'd be like a show called Mars, where they like go to Mars and they have to survive. Like it's the same thing to me. But what I like about The Madison, and I won't spoil anything, but there are characters who have that, who are me, and there are characters who also enjoy, being out in the middle of nowhere. Kurt Russell's so good. Michelle Pfeiffer's amazing. I mean, the cast, I can't say enough about it. I think it's really great. Okay, enough about that. That was my recommendation.
Good recommendation.
Why are we here?
Mike?
Well, you might disagree when you watch.
Well, Derek, you love off campus right now, right? Like what makes
Oh,
you?
I do. I'm just.
Oh yes, that you had
I,
recommended
I've.
that.
That's
Why-
my guilty pleasure. It
Yeah,
was.
tell us why. Why? What makes you watch it?
What makes me watch it? I don't. Well, social media. Well, that's a great topic. I don't know if it's our topic, but social media convinced me to watch it.
Okay, so that's why you watched it. But what
well-
keeps you watching?
Yeah, that's yes.
Well, I do like the writing. It's a female showrunner, so it's even the male characters are written like. I think I'm a nice guy. These guys are both nice guys and good looking. Double whammy. But I would say that a lot of that has to do with the fact that perhaps it is a female showrunner.
It's like wish fulfillment.
Yeah,
Or-
and it's based on a book who's also written by a female, so both are. The perspective is what I think they're more in tune to what the female viewer would want. But as being always the not take my shirt off in front of everyone, but a nice guy, it's refreshing to see them portrayed, just portraying nice people. There's no toxicity. It's, and I get that for a show. Like that's great drama. That's how you move a plot along. You need that type of plot point. That's why the Real Housewives. That's why all that other stuff. There's this weird toxic stuff, and they have to change throughout the show because they're Zach Morris, and they realize they were being an a-hole, and whatnot. That's a way of doing it. This show does it differently, and it's kind of, I don't know, it just was a way to escape to a better world, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting too. What you said about so it's a female showrunner, female director.
There are some, yes, they do alternate.
Or based on a novel.
Yes, the author is a female. Yes,
It's interesting because the Madison is 90% female cast, written by Taylor Sheridan very well, I think. But I think that's so important to have that female director perspective. And
oh, sure,
I think it really, really shows. But that's
I also
interesting.
think, Derek, you've just given everyone a good tagline for their LinkedIn. Like, not one to take his shirt off, but a really nice, good guy.
But a really nice, good guy.
Hireable.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Top of the resume.
well, that's
statement
these
about
guys
myself.
are they're the take my shirt off at every possible opportunity you can, but not my cup of tea, but I understand why they want to do that. But that was not my.
But is this why you're tuning in, Derek? Tell us.
That is not why I'm tuning.
Oh,
in.
okay. Just
That's what
curious.
keeps him going back, for sure. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it doesn't hurt. Yeah, but
But
no, it's just
there's a music element. As well,
there's a
correct?
huge music element, and it's a lot of indie artists, which there's a lot of music that Mike plays, because Mike is who introduces me to most of my music, because I'm a creature of habit. I'm not going to find new people. I find new artists because Mike plays them, or he tells me, "Hey, check this out." I don't go searching for it. And there were a lot of artists that he either played or were very similar to artists he played. So I really appreciated them, giving those indie artists a platform. And because it became so wildly popular, those artists took off like no other. The one artist's streams went from 1 million to 13 million in 2 weeks. Like that's
so great.
That's a hell of a jump.
Power. Yeah, that's the power of a good, commercial show out there. It's so cool.
That's huge.
I love it.
So they use it as sorry. Go on.
Oh no, I was just going to say, like, it supports that indie artist and like that whole thing. Like, they didn't know what was happening with this first season, and so they're trying to pick music that fits the right scene, that fits into what their vision is, and that's cool that they picked indie artists to make that happen, and then they exploded as well.
The music really is an extra character in all those scenes. It's well picked out. Whoever was the music supervisor did a fantastic job. It really brings you into the scene and the feeling. Conversely, I also love the Pitt. They don't have music tracks except for maybe the very first couple seconds of each episode, or like the very end when the credits roll. there's no other music throughout that entire season because they want you to be in the ER. They want you to feel like you're immersed in that ER environment, and they don't want you to know I need to be scared for this patient just because the music cue told me.
So there's no soundtrack at all. There's no score.
Like I said, it's saved for the very first episode. The first couple minutes they play a song. After that, it just goes dead. As soon as he enters the ER, it just drops off, and was a cool choice. Great sound effects though. Their sound design is amazing, but no music. You're in that
because
you're in that ER environment.
The score, like you said, it tells you what to feel. It tells you it heightens the emotion of a scene.
Yeah,
that's bold. And so you're saying it still works without it?
It does. Yeah, you can. The acting's very good.
But you watch it too, Ruby?
Yeah, I think that acting has to be even better, right? Because any emotion that's happening is just about the scene. It's very intense. Like I think you said it, Derek, but very immersive when you watch it. It's a great show. I have numerous people say it's their favorite show ever that watch a lot of content and have done, which is a big statement, but it's a good show.
I have to watch it. Okay.
I think it's so interesting because they do it like 24, where it's like 1 hour at a time. Where
yes,
I feel like even, if you want to escape into a show, it's not the show that you want to escape into because it's like a show that you actually have to pay attention to. But it also gives the focus point for those people because here's what's happening in an hour, and yes, and I'm sure it uses television magic and all of that like that. May not well happen in a true ER, but all of them, I'm sure, are based on true stories that have happened throughout, and they really do such a great job of making that hour that you feel is a true hour. Like whereas some movies and TV shows otherwise use time as a, skipping around and movie magic and all of that the viewer then has to feel that they've skipped that time. Here, this is an hour. This is what's happening right now.
I had heard they built the sets before they wrote the scripts so that the writers would know where, or at least designed it. I doubt they built it, but they designed the layout so they would know when character A is in this part, you couldn't have them 2 seconds later being in another scene because it wouldn't be possible for them to have walked that distance. So I thought that was another really cool fact there.
Yeah, that's awesome. We had met a surgeon. My husband had like minor surgery in his face, and we started speaking about it. And he was working in the ER, doing whatever you do when you come out of like medical school during COVID. And he said he started watching the Pitt, and it was too like real. It like brought it all back. Wow. So he said it was even more of like a experience from their side as well, which is very cool.
That's interesting because we were talking about rom-coms in a previous episode, and Ruby, you were kind of like they're all the same. It's like the same story. I kind of feel that way with firefighting shows. Like I know Chicago Fire's been on forever.
Procedurals.
Like CSI,
I love a procedural.
PSI or whatever. It's like about your tire pressure. It's like too many. They're not for me, but I understand the appeal. But like, what makes the Pitt different than the gazillion, medical shows that preceded it? Is it that kind of real time factor, or the realness of it?
I feel like it's the dynamics of the characters as well. It's very, I don't know, it's like raw to watch it. I don't know the stories. They're not super extreme. Like Mike, I think you're right. They've probably based it off of actual scenarios that have happened, and I don't know. There's just something different about it. It doesn't feel like a CSI thing where somebody's been murdered in an awful way, and it gets very like intense and dramatic. It's intense and dramatic, but like he gets peed on, or like blood spurts everywhere because someone like cut too deep, and you're like, oh, that looks like that could actually happen.
There was a lot of feedback from people in the second season, certain segment of viewer that was actually upset. They were expecting like a giant, because without spoiling it for you, there's like a big tragedy in the first season. And in the second season, while they have like an overarching problem that arises, it's not that same level of traumatic event. And people were like, where's the traumatic event? And their response was, in real life, not every day is a and it's when you watch those cop shows, it's like,
Yeah.
my God, I can't believe there was a mass murder every day, or
Right.
why is there a huge multi-floor building fire every day? It's not real, So they did ground it.
Bring realism into the show, which is kind of interesting too. That's
So, did we have a topic for today, or we're just going to wing it? I don't mind winging it. Did we
Well,
have?
you had the topic list.
yeah. I thought we were talking about like the what was it? Can passion really become a career? Right? Like, and I think it leans itself into what we're talking about here in some way, right? Like, how do you make a passion out of your career, and what does that look like?
That's
I think it's a
interesting.
flip. Reading it when we first brought that up, part of me is like, well, what do I have a passion in? I don't think I have a passion in anything. So I guess for somebody that's like, I love to act, or I love to sing, or there seems to be like an easier, not necessarily an easier avenue in, but an easier path. So I think it's finding whatever that passion is, and then can you make that at work? There's so many ways to approach that same topic. This is going to be interesting.
Well, that's what struck me about your story, Ruby, is that you had never seen yourself in the movie industry, right? Or in show business.
No.
Like the furthest thing from your mind. So it wasn't a passion until you got into it and you kind of realized, hey, I'm good at this. And then once you realize you're good at something and you're kind of moving up, then so the passion came after. It wasn't something you were passionate about and then pursued that, but it's something you realized you kind of fell into for the most part.
Yeah.
And then realized,
Yeah.
hey, I'm good at this. And people say I'm good at it.
Wanting things to work well and wanting, I don't know, it's a people thing, I think maybe would be my passion. I get very intense about work. I love what I do, and I couldn't tell you what the passionate part of it is, but finding something that's rewarding, I guess. But yeah, I don't know, Robert, what was it like for you getting into your career? Like that's totally different to mine.
It's complicated, Ruby. I started out very passionate. It's not that I'm not still, but I think the reality of you idolize something, right? And I think people do it all the time. I talk to people who want to write all the time, and you kind of romanticize what that means to make films or to write screenplays or to be an actor. Like it's so, you just see the glamour of it. So as a, 8-year-old child who saw Star Wars and said, that's what I want to do, you romanticize what that means. So I was very passionate about the industry. My father was in the industry as an editor, and so was always around it. I think the trick is to maintain the passion when you get into the weeds of the profession, and it gets sullied. Like your kind of romanticized view of it gets sullied by circumstance, projects, people, finances. There's so many things that kind of say, "What are you passionate about? This sucks." But you got to keep that little fire burning, because ultimately for me, it's storytelling, whether that's to a 3-year-old, toddler on ABC Mouse, or, a 20-something in a horror film, or, 40-something on a romantic comedy. It's keeping in mind the story you want to tell, and hopefully you're reaching someone. But it has been, it's not that I'm less passionate, but you start out all passion, and then that's kind of, attacked through 35 plus years in the business. And so you have to maintain it. For me.
I was just going to piggyback off of the whole, like, for me, it's about the people. And so I feel like every day is about, relating to the people and understanding what they need and what they want in order to build a bigger vision, right? Like it's any project that I undertake, it's like we have an idea, or we have more of an idea, and we have something built, but there's something bigger here that we can achieve together. And so for me, I'm always like, I think anybody who has an idea and anybody who has passion behind an idea can back up that idea. And if they're aligned to that vision and that execution, then that's what wins. And I think I align the most with the people that feel the most passion behind that. And so that's what I really love. For me, that's what gets me excited every day. I know there's always going to be challenges behind that. I know there's always going to be the financial element or the notes that come in from the people who probably aren't really aligned directly towards it anyway. And they're just coming in and trying to prove their value, or even if it's not that, they're just coming in and looking at it fresh, but not aligned in the same way. And they're just trying to, give their influence over it. But maybe that influence doesn't make sense at that time, but it's all about like riling up the people and bringing the people together towards a common vision that has a common good value and a good outcome at the end of the day. And that's what gets me going every day. I just love working with like good people. And, that's the 4 people on this screen. Well, 3 other people for being me on this screen, I think that's what brings us all together, right? Is like we all are value aligned and feel like we can carry something forward, and there's a bigger thing behind us and above us, and that we want to achieve as well. And I think that's exciting. I think I try to look at work that way, as like, hey, there's something bigger here that we can achieve. And I think there are good people in the world who can come together and accomplish that. But to your point, Robert, in the terms of like people romanticizing things, I do think there's that whole concept of people who have this expectation of just being like, well, I have this goal and I'm whatever age and I can just come in and this is just what happens, and X, Y, Z, and Z is the end goal, and that's it, and that's what happens. And when they get to X and they realize there's confrontation there and there's no way actually forward, they stop, they give up. And it's like, well, but what about Y and Z? And just because you've experienced some confrontation there, what made you stop? Were you really that passionate to get to Z? And I feel like, for me at least, it's like, I see Z, like, let's get there. Let's find the right people. Let's find the right fit. Let's find the financing. Let's get it all going. If you believe in something that you're after, I think you can make anything happen.
I think that's the key thing though, right? The people, I wonder how many people are hearing it thinking, well, what is passion to each of you, right? There's a different definition. We probably should have started off with a coaching session about that. So, but
Good point.
I think that like people that follow their passion and make something from it believe that they can, and then will find a way to get there, wherever their like end state is, whatever that vision is. There's the people around them will either help them get there, or like with Robert, facing some people that maybe make that dream and that passion seem to, I don't know, be harder to reach.
Yes, that's a great point, and I agree. To a large degree, I believe it is tenacity above talent, because if you can have all the talent in the world, and if you give up, like you're saying, Mike, at A, B, C, D, E, F before you get to Z, then it doesn't matter how much talent you have. But it is about being persistent and just taking the no's and just moving forward, or the number of scripts I've written that haven't been produced far outweigh, and I think that's fairly typical of any writer, the ones that have been produced. I mean, unless you're A tier, and even then, So, but it is about just keep going. Yeah, Derek, what's your passion?
No, hold on. So here's my my thought.
No, you got to answer the question.
No, I'm answering the question. Hold on. So I do believe I agree with Mike. No matter what you do, you have to have some passion behind it. But the crux of the question when I first heard it was, could you turn a passion into a career? My argument would be, would you want to do that? I know the quote. I know the quote is, do something that you love and you never work a day in your life, or work at something, I don't know, something like that. It doesn't matter. But anyway, that's the quote. But like, I know a lot of people, like a friend of mine who was one of our OG Frank listeners. She's a very good crocheter, and she's turning it into a side business. But talking to her about having to crochet now for a business, she doesn't speak with the same energy about it as to when she was just crocheting for fun. So now you've almost corrupted something that made you super happy. And she still enjoys it, but now you've almost ruined something that's was special to you by trying to turn it into a career.
That's a great
so
point.
It's
it is.
you
Writing
just
was
do,
never special. I don't enjoy it, so I've not ruined it.
well, that's good. Yeah, that
But
worked
you're
out.
still dodging the question there.
What are my passions?
Wait,
Is that-
like, do you feel like your passion? Like, have you pursued your passion, or have you? What is your passion that you're like? I don't want to sully by, because I kind of understand that. That's a great point. My son Paul, who you guys know, Ruby, you don't, but Mike and Derek know
One
since
day.
he was a little one, is passionate about music and composing, and he loves it. And he went to Berklee School of Music for film composition. And once you started pursuing it as a career and you start getting the people noting your art and your passion, it becomes a different thing, it becomes a business. And he's kind of made the decision that, I think I'd rather kind of do it as an art and it's something I enjoy doing, and maybe the career is something separate of that. So I maintain the love I have for my passion rather than, degrade that. So that's a good point. Like, do you want
it's a difference
to?
of what you do. Like, you're making my many people around me very talented, very skilled at something creative. The idea of having to monetize that for it to become a career instead of a hobby changes it. You're not making it from the heart. You're not making it from different. It comes from a different place, right? You're thinking with your head. You're thinking, are people going to like this? Is it about everyone else rather than about yourself?
so true.
Probably your friend's the same with her crochet and Derek. Whether it's like, shut away from the world, like take your mind off of something else. Now it's like, actually, I need to make this thing about productivity, and am I going to get enough out, and am I charging enough? Like, the narrative totally changes. I don't know if there's a passion though. I feel like maybe there's a difference in that word again of like what it actually means.
Yeah.
To answer more of Robert's question, I am passionate about doing my best. Like, that seems like a cop out, but it is. But so
And
what
whatever
I
you do, that's your passion.
I want to do it my best. I'm passionate about doing my best, getting people what they want, or I can help them get. Mike's more about going out and finding people to help.
Does that apply to setting up this web podcast?
Well, apparently not. I'd
Just pulling
question
up a
that.
text.
I saw Mike laughing, and I knew he was waiting for me to call you out.
I was waiting.
I knew you were waiting. Sorry, Derek. No,
I'm more passionate about it until people are demand like what needs to be right there, and then you do feel that like, well, this went from let's do something fun to I need to test this 50 ways, to do it.
and
Having
it's
said
stressful.
that,
Yes.
it is stressful, but I will bring back to the point, and I don't know if we'll show me stressing about.
I think
but
we
you
should.
saw how I react
I
to
think we
it.
should.
I didn't write it off when it wasn't going well. I get like that because I'm very passionate about. I feel
by the way-
bad. I feel, but
Passion
like I
under
feel bad.
pressure.
I don't have the ability like some people to just be like
Yeah.
I
Which makes-
couldn't.
Because you get like that, it's more fun to give you.
Well, of
Yeah.
course, that's
Get people
that
to
was
watch it.
that's
Derek crumbling.
that's
under
been
the
the-
Yes, exactly.
that's been the that's how people can target me, because I normally am not very emotional, so
You're
it's
not,
hard to
so
pick.
it's fun.
Yes,
When
exactly.
you are.
So when you do have
turning the dial, keep poking,
yeah.
poking the bear, as they say.
But even through that whole thing, like, I can get riled up. I wasn't ever actually, to be clear, I was never actually, I wanted to get it right, but I was never actually like, oh my God, I can't believe it was all in some ways
Yeah.
good fun. I know some people can't differentiate that, and
It's a good point. Yeah.
yeah, it's
I'm one of those.
I'm the
I
same.
can dish it out,
I would have given
Derek.
it 2 more minutes. I was about to close the laptop. I was done with you guys. I'm going to be frank.
Over it. Never coming back.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Ruby's like, I'm done. Take
Yeah,
me off
no,
the
Mike knows
go.
me. I have a very long fuse, and when it goes, I'm like, I'm done. Let's just put that down. I feel like you guys are inspirational though in some of those responses. The like, put the passion into something, and as long as you're being a good person or like following the vision, like you said, Mike. What about
Yeah, that
something
was all
more
Mike and
tangible?
Derek. I was just
I
saying.
know that
I
are
didn't
they
give you
the
any
nice
inspiration.
ones?
Yeah,
Robert,
absolutely.
yours was inspirational, and it was
I'm more
honest
cynical.
about
Yes.
people.
I'm the
you've-
guy who's
you've-
been through this.
Yeah,
But
you've
what-
had
but-
those
but you,
situations where you
Ruby-
can be realistic.
You, Ruby, Mike, I believe to some degree, Derek, are enjoy. I don't want to say I don't enjoy people, but as a writer, you're very insulated, So it is about kind of you're an observer, obviously,
I think
human behavior, but it is more your kind of insular thing.
This is
And
where finding
people
the
just-
lane's important, isn't it? Like if you know what your passion is and how you
That's
best.
very
Like,
true.
one of my favorite interview questions is like, what environment do you thrive? And some people
Yes.
kick it. Some people really utilize it. Some people like to be focused, head down, leave me be. Some people want to be in a room in person and getting a bit animated.
Yeah, with people.
It's so, if you can find the place that you do the best work, then you can find your career path through that. I think that's an important part of this. And maybe it's going to be different for everyone, but as long as you're in the right environment, you'll find
That's a great
that,
point. That's
right,
a great
around
point
other people.
because I started out writing in TV, which you had a writer's room full of writers, and it was the worst environment for me. I just
See,
shut
I'm
down.
like, that's so cool.
I was just shut
In
down.
my mind, that's the coolest
Too
thing.
many thoughts
Yeah.
and people and things flying. It just shut me down. So I needed what you're saying, just be kind of focused in my own, playing the thing out in my head and kind of creating the world. But you're right. It is about finding what works for you, because otherwise I would have just said, "Oh, writing's not for me," because that one situation wasn't, a writer's room. But yeah.
I think that's so interesting because to me, I think I'm such an introvert. I like being alone. I recharge when I'm alone. But I also love observing and hearing people and hearing their pain points and taking those things in and being
That's
able
why
to
we're friends, Mike. You like hearing people's pain points.
I do. I like, I want to hear it because I want to solve it, because I'm like I look at you, Robert, like seriously, I'm like, Robert's a genius, literally.
Wow.
And
Wow.
you're so good. And I'm like,
This is why we're friends. This keep
I
going.
don't know. We can tell
Keep
he's
going.
been buttoning you up for a long time.
the ego.
Yes.
It's fine. But I'm just like, what are the pain points of someone who is more creative and is better than me? Like I look at the world around me as seriously as everyone is better than me, and I want to aspire to be like them. And how can I help support them? And I'm fine being that layer of that person, because I do feel that there is a value to elevating and organizing and doing all of the things that I would do as a producer or a program manager, whatever role you want to put me in. I feel that's my superpower, is being in the room, listening and observing, or understanding that maybe that room that I'm in isn't listening and it is being more vocal and asking questions and being curious. But I sit in a room and I understand where I need to play the right role to battle. And maybe that's kind of the success that I've been able to build in my career. Is understanding that, but I'm far more an observer and a listener and understanding like what are the hurdles that need to get over. And to Ruby's credit, I've been in rooms with Ruby, and I think Ruby is phenomenal at being able to come into a room and being able to articulate an overall vision and come in and rally around people. And it's truly, it's very inspiring, Ruby coming into a room and being able to dictate what that is and get the people super excited around a vision, because she's able to come in and steer all these many pieces and this confusion, and being able to come in and being able to say, oh no, I see this, this, and this, and everybody then riling around that. And I think there's so much value to someone who's like that. I could never be Ruby, where Ruby can come in and do that. I couldn't come in and command the room, but I can come in and listen to the room and organize all of those thoughts. And
you do that very well, by the way, Mike. I feel like you're putting yourself down slightly, but whatever it is you do, no, it's super effective. And it's exactly the type of thing where it benefits to have people with their different levels of enthusiasm in what they do, and all of the pieces of that is what makes the output, right? I think it's important.
So Mike, Ruby's phenomenal. I'm a genius. You kind of left Derek out of it. Quick.
It's Derek too. Don't worry.
Derek is the genius on the technical side.
Derek is.
Apparently not, but
he is. You took the time. You researched the platforms and all of that.
Yes. We're just giving you a hard time.
We're grateful for you, Derek. I did say to Mike last week.
A string and a tin can, Derek. If I was
No, we got it.
Sometimes the simpler the better. There are you do need to also balance the you find something that's just too bloated with stuff you just
Sure,
don't need.
too many features, too many things.
Right.
It's really what it boils down to is just us being able to talk. How fancy that is a bonus, but being able to bring us together in some form is the important part.
Yeah, and what's really
Yes.
nice is, Derek, you can go to Mike later as Agony Uncle Mike, and you can tell him all of the things that you're actually annoyed about, and he'll sit and listen and
That's true.
give you a load of great advice.
Yes.
I said it to Mike last week. He's not an agony aunt, he's an agony uncle, and it's
There
much
you go.
appreciated from everyone.
That's for sure. He's heard his fair share from me.
He's
And I
just a
love it.
gossip, that's all it is. He's like, tell me what's going on.
I do. I love it. I love hearing the. I mean, obviously, I want to hear the good, but I want to hear the bad. Like, I think maybe that's almost some of it too. With me, it's like I want to hear the bad because I want to see through the bad and help you solve what that bad is, whatever bad is for whoever I'm talking to. I don't like bad because that's not where I'm.
I will say we're going on 27 years here, Mike, and you have not solved the bad, but I know you're working on it.
I'm trying every day.
I don't know how many more years I got in me, so.
I'm trying.
Okay. A for effort.
That's what this is going to become. Someone comes with a problem, and it's like, Mike,
That's
help us
right.
fix it.
Ask Mike.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out one way or the other.
You
That's
will
right.
do. You always do.
No matter how that looks, I know it may not be an actual solve, but there's solves at the end of the day, and I got to celebrate some wins. So
That's right. No, absolutely. I'm teasing. So I collectively, do we feel like, well, because I guess can you be here's the question. Can you be successful at a career or a job in which you have no passion?
I think it
Probably.
depends on the type of person. Do you know, I've met so many people that are happy to go to a job and do
Yeah.
a job, and their life and their passion exists outside. And it must be such a nice, calm, peaceful existence to it's just a means to a life. But I think
that's
if you
their
don't
passion.
love it, their passion is the life,
is
the
what
whatever
it
it is, their
provides
hobbies,
them.
the things they do.
Yes,
Exactly.
that makes sense.
Then it just depends on the weight of someone's career, right? If you have an industry, if you have a company or whatever it is that you really want to get into, you probably would put more weight on that. I'm not a very good example of this. I feel like I'm so enthusiastic about what I do that all of my time and energy has gone into work for a very long time. I'm trying to flip it because it's maybe not the healthiest to be so intensely into work and take that home. But it depends on the person, it depends on the job.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Anyways, I'm like you. I can't remember a time where I wasn't. Kind of feels like 24/7 thinking about the job or writing or a story or with writing, it's something you can do. Obviously, you don't have to be in the office, so it is a 24/7 thing.
But you mentioned that about the TV show. You ended up thinking about with the Madison. Oh, the writer did this so well.
Constantly.
But do you ever shut that out though?
No, I've never been able to. But I want to talk to you about something called callbacks, Derek. So there's this thing. This is an inside joke for the listeners, but there was something that happened in an early episode, and I thought he's going to call that back. We're going to come back to that moment, and 4 episodes in, he did, which I loved.
Okay.
It was brilliant. But yeah, your mind's always thinking ahead, like, oh, was he planning that, or is that just going to be a one-off, or yeah, I can't. It's just always been where my mind goes. I mean, even from a very young age. Trying to be ahead of the story. So it's hard just to relax and enjoy film. That's why, again, reality TV, like whatever, I watch every housewife, my wife and I, every housewife of, you name it. Beverly Hills, Potomac.
But you also worked
New York
in reality TV. So do you?
I did.
Maybe you can separate this. Do you sit there and go, I wonder what that story editor did here? Because you did that for a while. So
I did.
When you're watching that's not as you're talking about the true creative, like watching a real drama or a comedy.
Yeah, I mean, you think, you could tell if it's what they call bites. When they cut to the person commenting, you can tell when those have been written for them or not. But I don't care. It's all fun.
Right.
It's like,
as long as it's funny, it's entertaining.
It's funny, or it's what we call soft scripted. They put them in situations they know that you're going to get some kind of reaction out of, and like we used to kind of outline the whole season, and there's you kind of, it's like improv almost. You give them what scenes they're going to be in and who's in a fight with who. And then they make up. But then you realize, halfway through the season that somebody said to somebody in that improv scene where they're in a fight that really offended the other person, and they're not going to make up. So you can't force that. So then you kind of retool how the rest of the season goes. So I don't know. I don't say that all shows are that way. I've heard the housewife shows, they just kind of film and it's for 6 months and then they put it together.
Have you ever seen Below Deck?
Oh, are you kidding?
It's on
Below Deck, Australia, Below Deck with Captain Sandy, Below Deck.
Mediterranean.
Mediterranean? Come on now. Down Under. I still like Captain Lee. Captain Lee's my favorite. What are you saying, Mike?
Question?
I was saying, what is the key between all of them, though? Like, what makes the Real Housewives, for example, what made that stick to all these different iterations and Below Deck or whatever it's called? Like, what made that become what it is? Like, what is the common thing?
This ties in. Robert will tell you the actual production answer. My theory on this is because you feel like it's real and they're real people doing real things, you're like, oh, that's another person that I could bump into at Trader Joe's. And then there's something so relatable about these people that are not relatable at all, especially the housewives. In my mind, I'm like, I can switch off and it makes me feel like my life is so carefree, so not full of drama. Like, thank God I don't have all of these stresses with people like wanting to buy crazy $500,000 cars and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
I don't know. It's nice to just...
And
oh, yeah.
Oh, that one on are you watching the new Beverly Hills? Are you watching the new Beverly Hills? I forget her name.
Beverly Hills season finished?
Yes, but that one, do you watch that season? The one who wrote the self-help book and everything she's calling out.
Oh, yeah.
My Gucci this, my this and that.
Amanda, I think her name is. I was watching her thinking, God, she's so unrelatable. And then I realized I bought her book last year, haven't read it. And I started reading it. It's called Rich as Fuck. I started reading it through and I was like, oh, now when I'm watching her, all of this makes sense because she genuinely is like a self-help guru. She's like, I am selling all these courses to tell you to make money that's making me money. And it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's very clever.
It is. But I didn't think it was, they call her out on, well, you make money by telling people how to make money, but you don't tell them how to make money.
She's making money from the fact that she's telling them how to, it honestly is genius. It's
basically, what do you call that? Where you picture stuff like what is that called? Not wish fulfillment, but where she tells you to
manifesting.
Imagine. Thank you.
Yeah. That's her whole thing. She's like, manifest being rich. She did it. It's so cool. That's inspiration. That's true
manifesting.
Yeah. I was just going to say though, I think this is part of the career thing we were talking about with passion as well. When you see someone in real life, and I'm sure there's a lot of people in the world that are like, I want to be a reality star. You're watching people that are cleaning boats and they're living in crazy houses and the range of things that people are in reality TV things for. That it could be someone's dream and it's achievable. They're going to do
it's so achievable now.
Yeah, like Real Cleaners of LA or something. Like I'd watch that.
Absolutely.
It would be
I would too.
Very insightful. Yeah.
Or like Balin, someone who,
I love her.
She's so great, but that's someone who, she has Tourette's and people don't know. And then she says inappropriate things and she's kind of fighting that stigma, but it's turned it into something positive and now it kind of raised awareness of Tourette's.
Education. I think she started on TikTok. She was picked up from, she had a TikTok presence and they turned it into a show. But that's so lovely because that's a different connection. It's kind of that niche thing in a way where she was wanting to explain about Tourette's, but actually their whole family dynamic is fascinating. Oh, it's
the best. I love the parents.
So real and raw and it's
my gosh, so great. And I believe it's like HBO's #1 series. At least it was.
And Love on the Spectrum is huge too on the autism.
Love that. Oh my gosh.
Love on the Spectrum.
Love that.
The most delightful show ever.
Dating show, but
wholesome.
Kids with autism, and you're trying to grow awareness around that and understand what it is to be in their shoes. But it's for all intents and purposes, it's The Bachelor, ish, where you're going out on dates and you're trying to figure it out. And it's so cool to be part of their journey. And every episode, a big smile every time because I love it. It's
heartwarming.
Love it all.
It's lovely. And it's done really tastefully. It's not like done to be funny. they're very likable. Everyone that's on there they've got their own like quirks. You're like, the world is a good
I
place
follow
for
them all.
highlighting.
I want to know
they're
what
great.
happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're passionate. You know what? That's one of the things I follow some of their social medias. Whatever some of those guys do, they love it and they're passionate about it. So they're going to be successful.
It's so great.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Derek, are you done with the technicalities of everything? You seem like you're
Yeah.
one of
Oh,
us.
yeah.
Have you checked out, Derek? You have no interest?
No, I was listening.
Okay.
I was yes. I was also multitasking in my head, but
Yes, that's all right.
Yeah, should we wrap up?
yeah.
There's a lot of content here. This is great.
I know, that was really cool. Great. Well, that was awesome. Well, it was great talking to you guys today. We have some really cool episodes coming up, some great topics, including responsible use of AI and how that could affect our jobs, your jobs, everyone's jobs, the takeover of the world, Skynet, all that stuff. So make sure you tune in the upcoming episodes, and we appreciate you listening today. You can find us on YouTube. Well, if you're listening, you already know where we are. But if you're in your car, you can check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, and Apple Podcasts. We'll be everywhere, whatever device you have, you can listen to us. So we'll catch you soon. All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Can we be friends? Can we be friends? Can we be friends? Can we be friends?
If only we knew we were doing this at 4, we could have prepared. But
Well, it
apparently
worked.
this was just a last minute get together.
It
So
worked
now it's
earlier.
4:27.